Hello, this is Rogers Redding, National Coordinator of Football Officials. I want to welcome you again to this next in the series of special videos that we are creating for our media partners. This is video number 5. Again, we have a few plays from recent games that will illustrate some points about the rules that you may find interesting. I thank you again for your feedback on these videos, and I hope you find it useful as you prepare for your games this week. This play shows a nice example of intentional grounding. Remember that in order for a passer to legally ground the ball by throwing it away into an area where there is no eligible receiver, two things have to happen. He has to get outside the tackle box, and the ball has to land beyond the line of scrimmage. Now, he doesn't have to be outside the tackle box when he throws the ball, but he does have to be outside it at some time during the down. In this case, he doesn't get outside the tackle box even though the ball lands beyond the line of scrimmage. It is a foul for intentional grounding.
Joe Davidson, the punt.
Quarterback was not outside the pocket. Even though the ball got to the line of scrimmage, there was no receiver in the area. Lost it down at the spot of the foul, fourth down.
This play gives us a good illustration of offensive pass interference. You can see that the receiver to the outside cuts to the inside, blocks down on the linebacker, drives him back a few yards, and then cuts to the inside to be able to be in position to catch a pass. So this is offensive pass interference. The offensive player is not allowed to do this, so I show this as a good example of the rule.
Pass interference, offense, number 1.
Ooh.
The penalties decline, fourth down.
This play illustrates some of the strange things that can happen in a football game, especially when the player commits a mistake like the one you're about to see. You can see that the ball carrier, just before he crosses the goal line, drops the ball into the field of play. The ball bounces on into the end zone, but this is not a touchdown, of course, because the ball carrier did not cross the goal line with the ball in his possession. The officials on the field do a good job by not making any signal here. It would be easy for them to read this in real time as a touchdown, but in fact they can see that he drops the ball in the field of play. So there's no signal made, there's nothing to kill the ball is still alive. The defensive team picks it up, fumbles it, picks it up again, and returns it for a touchdown, which ultimately is ruled as good because instant replay comes in to make sure that in fact the ball was fumbled into the field of play. Questions have also been raised about the defensive player who goes out of bounds and then comes back in bounds and picks up the ball. There is no rule to prevent this. That is not a foul on his part. As long as the player is in bounds when he touches the ball, then the ball remains alive. So that's not a problem at all on this play. So I just include this as a very interesting play that challenges us with regard to what the rules are for such a situation.
Running on the field is the runner fumbled the ball prior to getting into the end zone. The ball was recovered by the defense. The play is under further review. After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
This play illustrates a common situation where a receiver goes airborne, possesses the ball in the air, and then is driven back and comes to the ground several yards behind where he first received the ball. It is not a completed pass until he touches the ground, but he gets the forward progress to the point where he first possessed the ball and not to the point where he is driven back. So a good illustration of the rule about a receiver who is driven back a few yards from the place where he first receives the ball. This next play illustrates a fairly unusual situation, and that is batting a loose ball forward in the field of play. Batting a loose ball forward is a foul. Batting, by definition, is an intentional act. That is, it is not simply touching the ball in an attempt to recover it or otherwise muffing it in a scramble. It has got to be an intentional act in order for it to be a foul. And you can see that in this play, the player who bats the ball leaps into the air and spikes it almost in the manner of a volleyball spike. The yardage penalty is 10 yards, and the other team has the option of having the penalty enforced at the previous spot with the down replayed, or having it tacked on to the end of the play to the dead ball spot where they would have put the ball in play without the foul. So, good illustration of batting and a good illustration of the enforcement of the penalty for this foul.
Illegal batting by a member of the kicking team, batting the ball forward beyond the line. The 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick, first down. The spot where the kick was touched by the kicking team and the enforcement penalty brings the ball to the same spot, first down.
Here's a play where a player's helmet is ripped off, and there are several elements of the rules that are worth talking about in this situation. First of all, the rule is that it is illegal for a player to grab an opponent's helmet, any helmet opening, face mask, ear hole, back of the helmet, anything like that, and twist and grab. We refer to it rather loosely as a face mask foul, but in fact it's any helmet opening, not just a face mask. In this case, the ball carrier's helmet is ripped off by the player who commits the foul. Notice that the ball is dead as soon as the helmet comes off. This is true for the ball carrier only. If another player's helmet comes off, the ball remains alive, but the ball carrier's helmet coming off makes the ball dead. Notice also that the player is not required to leave the game because his helmet came off directly due to the foul. So, several points to remember. It is any helmet opening, not just a face mask, that if an opponent grabs and twists it, that's a foul. When the helmet comes off, the ball is dead if it is the ball carrier's helmet, and the player is not required to leave the game in this case because his helmet coming off was directly due to the foul.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask opening, defense number 30.
Boy, that's twice.
To the goal, automatic first down.
Yeah,
But
again.
Number 24 may remain in this game as his helmet came off due to foul.
This brings us to the close of this set of plays. I'd like to thank you again for watching. As always, we welcome your feedback. We're getting good response to these videos, and we would like to get your input as to plays you'd like to see or other situations that you'd like for us to cover and find plays for in a game. So best wishes, good luck as you prepare for your games this weekend.